babes. Oh, hi, you're in the bloody garden. If I go in the garden, there's probably no internet. I didn't want to take the risk.
I'm in a bit of foliage.
Nice.
One plant. That's the extent of my gardening.
I saw you sunbathing earlier.
Oh, yeah.
I was also sunbathing, but I had to go to the park because I live in London.
Oh, man. I've just been doing my training outside.
Yeah, you've caught a tan today. I can see it.
Thanks.
I'm hiding mine. I'm going to train after this, actually. I've been waiting till it's a bit cooler.
Wise woman. I'm going to have a little walk after this, I think.
My neighbours, though, yesterday, right, I wanted to squat and deadlift, and they're literally right there, and they were reading a book and listening to, like, really soft music, and I was like, can I make all this noise that I'm about to make, like, grunting and, like... So I didn't. So I'm going to have to do it tonight, so they have their time.
Can you hear me okay outside?
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah, wicked.
Yeah. Is that a pint?
A pint? No, I've made, like, a... protein mocha. So I've got like chocolate protein powder and espresso and almond milk.
You're drinking coffee at this time?
Yeah. Oh, I'm Nespresso's been on like full-time delivery since I've been at home. I'm having too much coffee. It's my only pleasure in life. There's like nothing else.
I go to Thailand with Karina twice now, and both times she just makes these like iced coffees that, like, I think they might be protein as well, maybe not, but just today I was just hankering after one of these iced coffees, but I don't know how to make them, so I didn't. Now she wants to make espresso martini.
Oh my god, yeah, espresso martini is the best cocktail ever.
Yeah. I can't drink them anymore. It's too late. Like, if I'm drinking, it's the night time, and I can't have coffee in the night time. But probably because I've had so much caffeine during the day.
Yeah, wired. I made a bad mistake last night. I had a pre-workout about 9:30, and then I was like...
I've been just taking a pump one in the evening, so it's got no stims, but I love it. I'm actually addicted. I've never used a pump product before. Yeah.
Oh, there's like...
Yeah. Even when you're not training your shoulders, you're like,
What are we saying? I pumped them up especially for this live. I've been doing like 50 lap raises before the show.
I literally pumped my shoulders up to go on a date. So one guy came back and he was like, there were 2 dumbbells before lockdown, like on the floor, and he was like, oh, do you use those to train? I was like, no, I just pumped them up before the date.
Little party pump. Like the men before they go
and
to
I
the
never
club.
used them since, until the next time I had a first date, and now obviously fucking lockdown, they get used.
This is where I've been going wrong. I haven't been getting pumped up enough before
dates. Get pumped up,
Clearly.
And then you get called too solid anyway. It was that guy.
Oh god, you pumped up for the wrong man.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Good god. So what are your plans now? Like, are you off season or are you maintaining?
So now I've just started prep actually.
Yeah.
So about a couple of weeks in, really, just like a steady start, although I checked in yesterday and it savaged my calories, but yeah, so I aim to do some of the first shows when they get put on. So the 2 bros announced their calendar. I was going to do end of July anyway, but I think it's going to be August now, so still aiming for that. Whether they're on or not, I don't know, but I think we thought may as well start cutting. It's something we can actually do in a lockdown, and you know, just play it by ear, and if we get about 5 or 6 weeks out, you can maintain it at that for like a month or 2 or whatever. So
I've gone the other way for lockdown. I'm trying to grow. So I was midway through my prep. Gym. Yeah, so I started prep lockdown really lean, right? Because I was prepping. So probably my physique was 4 weeks out when we started this. I was having a diet break, and then and a deload. So I didn't train for 2 weeks before the fucking gyms shut. So I was like, great.
The night they shut, I think Nick's during the call, we went to the gym and trained for like 3 hours because we thought we'd never go there again. The guy opened it till midnight, especially, and we were like, we've got to do more stuff. I couldn't
believe it. It was my first day back in the gym, and it was the day they said, right, everything shuts at midnight, and I was like, what? And then obviously we had no idea how long it was going to be, so I still thought I was going to compete this year, but I'm only going to prep for Worlds, so I've got to wait till Worlds. I don't reckon it'll be until April. The next Body Power, probably.
Yeah.
So, gives me some time though to make some improvements. I cut back enough to see my weaknesses, which was good.
It does. And you know what, like for the last couple of months I've still been trying to improve during lockdown, and I think it's actually done my physique a lot of good, to be fair. Like, I saw it as a positive. I wasn't really concerned about not having the weight, even though for the first couple of weeks I had nothing but like a broom and 4 kgs. Like, there's loads of ways of making like lightweight feel heavy. Like, and it's actually forced me to take some time to work on my form, and particularly like with my glutes. I've got really like overactive hams and underactive glutes, so when I'm in the gym and tempted to like lug all the weight around, I can lift it, but I'm using my hams and they're getting overdeveloped and my glutes aren't getting developed. So just like, you know, going back to prattling around with like 20 kg kettlebell or dumbbell or something, and just doing my glute bridges with them, like, Jesus Christ, like they're burning. I'm like, oh, I'm actually using my butt. So you know, it's helped me work on the form, and you know, now I've kept getting bits and new equipment, so I'm like building up the weights again. And so I think when I take that, like, I've like reprogrammed myself a bit, when I take that like back into the gym, I'm like dead excited for it. And you know, I haven't, you know, usually by that point in off season I'm starting to pick up more injuries. My shoulders have given in and knotties and everything. So just like in terms of less stress on the body, like I think I'm looking better from that perspective as well. So I don't really think any harm done as well. I don't think anyone's going to lose any gains as long as you're training to some capacity. And I think I've improved.
Flat. I didn't train for maybe 4 weeks of the first 4 weeks properly, and I just got flat. And I've been training for 5 days, and it's all coming back. You know, like it's literally like people call it muscle memory. It's literally just because you were flat, right? But I went a bit like the first 4 weeks I wasn't training, but I was counting my macros. So I maintained my physique really easily. And then when I stopped counting my macros and started eating whatever I liked, which was probably like 2 grams of protein a day and
100 grams
all
of
the
cheese,
fats, all the carbs. I just got super flat, but I had kind of started to train, and now from this week I've got my nutrition and my training on point, so I just need to grow. That's all. Like, it's the hardest craziness bit. I just need to grow my lower body and maintain my upper body. So that's why I bought the gym stuff.
It sounds so easy.
No big deal, you know.
No big deal. We'll just do that. No,
but you know what? I haven't squatted. I haven't squatted for 2 years, and now I'm having to squat, and I love it. And I've actually, you know, I love to deadlift. I'm actually prefer to squat at the moment. So I'm like, lockdown's made a squatter out of me.
I think squats are my like worst moves, so I haven't really missed them. I did have a go at the wheelie bin squat rack last weekend.
How was it?
Stank. Well, it's disgusting, isn't it? Because you stood by a bin, like stinks, but it's flies everywhere, and you're this close to it, because if you want your plates over the end, you're like that.
I couldn't. I've got shared bins with my neighbours, so if I started squatting out there, they would literally be like, this girl is crazy. Because they don't know I compete or anything, right?
But how my neighbours, you've got to be like this close to a bin by your face.
Especially in this heat. My neighbours, the one that backs onto my garden, the first time I squatted, I literally heard one of them go, bloody hell, look at that. And they could probably just see my head going up.
I didn't know what this girl was doing, grunting.
Literally haven't used the garden for 3 years, you know, like, and now I'm out there every day. Like.
Wicked.
Yeah, so I really wanted to talk to you about competing internationally, because I actually haven't, and you mostly do, right? That's most of your competitions. And I expect there's like different considerations you have to take. I mean, even food, right? Like, I know that I was talking to Kerry Sexton about it, and she was saying that she doesn't eat carbs on the plane because of water retention and all this kind of stuff. That I've got friends that are saying that they're drinking all that water on the plane. I'm like, what? Like,
the water on the plane. I did still eat carbs. Yeah, I didn't have it that bad, but I haven't really travelled what you would call like long haul. I think probably 3 hours, 3.5 hours is the most on a plane. But I always make sure if I'm competing at the weekend, so if I'm competing on a Saturday, I'll always travel the latest on a Wednesday, like Thursday for a Sunday. So you've always you always look like a sack of shit when you land, but then literally a good night's sleep and the water will drop off. So I haven't found it like that bad, but then again, I know Kerry's been to like Korea and China and stuff, and that's a whole different ball game. But kind of short haul hasn't been too bad for me really. But yeah, the water on the plane, and the worst experience that I ever had was I did the Amateur Olympia in Spain last year, and the flights to Alicante in June, full of people on stag do's. And I was just like there on my own, drinking like 3 litres of water, desperate for toilet all the time, full of like pissed up men on the plane. It was
looking like a little hobo as well, right? Like...
You know what? I deliberately made myself look as unattractive as possible for that flight because I didn't want any grief. I wore like baggy clothes, no makeup, withered. Like I was like, I look bad, but how can I make myself look even worse for this flight? Because I don't want like any attention from anyone. I just want to put my headphones on, look miserable, not have any men speak to me.
I'm like that especially for peak week in the gym. That's when I wear a massive oversized hoodie the whole time, but mostly because I look dead. And I don't want people to just literally be like, are you okay? And obviously I'm trying to sweat out the last of the tiny little bit as well. But I have pictures of me in Euston Station going up for finals in Birmingham, and I literally look like a crackhead. And I'm holding a coffee in the picture, so my bicep is just fucking stacked. The vein is just like, brr.
Like one of them crabs with one big claw.
It was so bad. People must have been looking at me like, what the fuck is wrong with her? Like, I just look dead, you know, like it just dead.
Sunken.
Because I hadn't had my tan. Yeah. You scrubbed every single bit of your body for 2 weeks.
Raw. Like you haven't got enough to do. Like you haven't got enough time in the day, and you get home from work, you're like, oh God.
Got to scrub myself. I used to get my poor ex-boyfriend, I'd literally just shout for him like, can you come and do my back? And then in the end I was like, I can't.
I absolutely
the worst was that. Like, can you come and shave my back? And he was just like but I shaved my whole body last season for the first time, and I think it made a difference to my tan. So I was just like, I'm going to do it.
I do shave all my arms and stuff. And, you know, like, you do all this bit, 'cause obviously they're dead hairy. And then here I didn't. And you're like, you can see it, can't you, on the tan, even though you've got, like, fine hair. You're like, oh, God.
If you want to zoom in on one of those pictures, especially for PCA, Ryan takes a picture from the table, doesn't he? And it's just quite closely cropped in. And you can see your hair.
It's like... Yeah, you have to shave.
It's like a military operation. And I'm not hairy. Like,
you've got to shave your arms. Shave your bum, everything.
Everything. Just so that everyone can see it in the tanning tent. Just
in case. Nobody wants that, like, fur, because the stage lights behind it, like, you can see, like, the fur.
It actually happened to me. I had my tan sprayed onto my leg, and I've got, like, really fine blonde hairs on the top of my leg. I must have just missed the patch. And they were, like, brown. And I just said to the woman, oh my God, I didn't shave my leg. And she was like, it's going to be okay. Like, it's just going to dry. And I was just like, and I just thought, never again. I'll shave every single, literally from my forehead down to my toenails. I'm like a ginger dolphin. Like, so what drives you to go overseas to compete? Is it because they don't have enough shows over here?
No. Well, I love traveling. And I think it started a couple of years ago, because like I was like single and all my friends were like married or settled down, and sometimes it's hard to find anyone to go on holiday with or for more than a weekend or whatever. And
I'm always available, by the way.
Okay, well, next year we'll go. So I'd done like a Two Bros show in 2018, and I'd won my class. And so I was looking for like another show kind of June time, because then I wasn't planning on competing until the PCA finals in October. So I thought, oh, I'm in good shape, I'm doing well. Is there another show out there I can do? And obviously the IFBB or NPC kind of have them all over Europe as well.
Yeah.
So I'd had a little scout around, and there was one in Portugal like 3 weeks later. And I was like, oh, I could go there. And I've always been like nervous about traveling on my own before, because you just sometimes like you feel a bit embarrassed. Like people be like, why is she in a hotel on her own? Or why is she eating dinner on her own? But I absolutely like love to travel, and I just like sabotage myself from doing it really for 2 years. Just thought, oh, I haven't really got like the bravery to go on my own. But I think having like a reason I was there. Yeah. And if, if somebody said, oh, what you're doing, it's like, oh, well, I've actually been doing this competition. Yeah. And I'm just like a lonely person.
Yeah.
So, and then, it was only kind of 3 weeks away. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to book the flights and go for a long weekend and do the show. And obviously you meet other people there who are in the same boat as you. There's lots of other people who travel from other countries or on their own or from the UK as well. So I just kind of grew some balls and entered. And the show was wicked. Like, it was in one of the like best venues I've ever been, but like the standard was like terrifying, I'll be honest. Like, here I am, like, oh, I've done quite well at a regional, and then I turn up and like in my class is like the Spanish national champion, the Portuguese national champion, somebody who's just come like second or third in the Diamond League, a PCA pro, and I'm like, you for real? You're all in my high class?
And so, you weren't British champion yet, were you?
No, it was the year I won, but it was in the June, July time.
Yeah. So you don't even realise that you are that standard, but they already have the name, right? So you just like, fuck.
Not at all, because I qualified for the PCA finals the October before.
Me
so
too.
I had like
did you do Birmingham?
I did Stoke, the Jordan Peters JP Classic, and then I did Birmingham as well, Midland.
Yeah, I did the Birmingham Explosive 8, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Grand Prix. That's how I qualified for those finals as well. So I had a whole year off.
Yeah.
Amazing.
But I actually came third in both of those shows.
Oh.
So I was like, I was all right, but I wasn't like dead good. And so obviously I like, immediately after that, I was like really encouraged. I thought, I'm going to have a year. And I did improve loads, clearly. But you never know like how much you've improved. And then, as I say, I entered the Two Bros and won my class there. And I thought, oh, fucking hell, I'm doing all right.
Yeah.
But I kind of went to Portugal just for a bit of fun and a holiday, really, to end that little mini season. I could compete, could have a few days on the beach, have a little rest, and then prep again for October. So I didn't really go with any expectation. But I came third again in that class, and that was like,
amazing,
wicked. So that obviously gave me like a lot of confidence, I think, going into the British finals when I came back to PCA. Because I think, even in that few little gap, my like condition and everything still carried on improving until October. I
was going to say, do you have to be more conditioned for PCA?
I think a little bit, I would say. I think the difference is perhaps getting a bit more nowadays as well, than probably 2018, because I think I came kind of second in the Amateur Olympia, and then like 2 weeks later I won the British final, and then second in the Worlds, and I think kind of my condition kind of improved.
We've got the same placings at PCA, because I came second at Worlds as well. Look at us. Do you know what my absolute favourite thing is to see when you go overseas to compete? It's after the show when you always have a local beer.
Oh yeah, always have a beer.
Always. And I love seeing that picture. And you do it every single time. I love it.
I do. It's because I'm really classy and I like a flat lager.
Northern girls. Northern girls.
No, I do really like beer. So, cheers. Honestly, I'm always pegging for one. Even in the UK, I'll find the bar in the theatre and go and have a pint. Maybe.
Oh God.
So it kind of started as that, and then I loved it, and I thought, this is mad. Like, why haven't I been away before on my own? So I just started like seeking out a few other shows. So I've been to Portugal twice now. I've been to Spain and Denmark. Denmark was wicked. And I had I've still got quite a lot on my list, but I wanted to do quite a lot in autumn, October, November time. So fingers crossed the world might reopen, because I want to go to some different destinations this year.
Yeah.
But it's such a good atmosphere overseas with the shows, and I just find it fascinating.
So I found Worlds was it wasn't very friendly backstage compared to a usual PCA show. And I expect that's because some people, it's not their first language, English, right? Yeah. So they weren't really any mixing. So it was, us British girls were kind of thrown together. But I didn't really see much friendliness or much, usually backstage you can be completely on your own and there's girls helping you, right? Do your hair, your makeup, stick your bikini on, whatever. I didn't feel that at Worlds, so I wondered if it's like that at an international show. I know it's a different federation, but just more because there's such a mix and it's so diverse.
I don't think there is the same sort of camaraderie, because people literally have no awareness who other people are, unless you're proper geek with every country in the world. You recognize one or two people, but some you don't. And I think because the federation have been doing, there's the pro cards on offer, a lot of people take it super serious. And you can see, they've got all the coaches there, and you're like, you for real? But I'm one of the people really backstage I do like to keep myself to myself a bit, really, and not stress myself out. So I'll just kind of rock up as late as I can, and then lie down. So I don't really speak to many people, and people probably think I'm a bit miserable, but we know I'm not.
At the JP Classic, I fell asleep backstage. They had bean bags in the little thing upstairs, so I fell asleep. I fell asleep with my hand in between my legs, because that's how I sleep, on my tan. So if you look carefully on my stage picture, there's a bit of a hand mark.
Oh man, right on your crotch.
But that was one of the best backstage experiences. I literally fell asleep, woke up fuck, I've got to go on stage now. Did the pro show as well, went home on cloud 9, because I actually got the train back down to London that night afterwards with my bloody weird glass trophy, but you're full of glaze, so I'm just dropping it constantly, oh fuck. What kind of considerations do you have to do for bringing back trophies? Because obviously you guys get the medals, but what if you get a sword?
Well,
everyone wants a sword, right? That's the
I'd
only
like to say I
I'm
haven't thought about what I'd do if I get the sword.
What, how the fuck do you bring that home?
I don't know. I think my plan would be find a local post office and post it back somehow. I don't think I'd dare rock up to the check-in with it, or maybe pack it in my bag and tell them it's some sort of ornamental sword or something.
God, I literally would want to bubble wrap it to within an inch of its life. Can you imagine?
I think it might be like a UPS job or something. I don't know if you can travel with it. But when I went to Denmark, actually, I had the world's biggest medal. It's still the biggest one I've got, and I'd put it in my hand luggage because I'm always terrified of getting my bags lost.
Yeah.
And so it goes through the scanner, and this woman's like, what's this massive piece of metal in your bag?
You're like, oh, by the way.
And I'm like, shit, she's going to confiscate my medal. And I was like, oh, it's a medal. She's like, what'd you do? I was like, I've been bodybuilding. And then they opened the bag, and the guy's like, she only wants to see what it is. She doesn't care. She's not stopping you. She was just intrigued, but she was so nice. She's like, oh my God, this is amazing. And the guy was making jokes about going through check-in with the guns and all this sort of stuff. I was like, oh God. But
I hate having to bring the fucking trophies back. The British champion trophy, I had to carry it back to London from Birmingham, but I had so many bags, and my ex-boyfriend, did he even carry any? I can't remember, but anyway, I'm carrying the thing by its leg, obviously, just walking down the train carriages, and all the northerners are like, oh, congratulations, they've got no idea, but congratulations. And I'm like, thanks. And everyone on the tube is literally like And I've got my tan on. I obviously I'm busting out of my skin because I've had all the food, you know, like, and they're just literally like,
I've always got like a full-size suitcase as well. Every time I go backstage,
maybe that's what I need to do instead of taking lots of smaller things.
I fill it of shit. Like, because I don't know what I take. I take a blanket, a neck pillow, all my food. I take shoes, spare bikini, makeup, everything. Spare clothes, my onesie, a towel. Like, literally, the case is full. I don't know what I managed to take, but you have to drag it round the street, because I always go to shows on my own as well. Like, literally, I don't think I've had anyone watch a show probably since that that one we won, the JP Classic. I think, a couple of friends came to watch the Two Bros one in 2018, but then had to leave before the final, so didn't even know that I won.
So they're going to change it, aren't they? So you do the finals while you're on stage now.
They do that now. Apart from amateur Olympias, you still have to go back on, so that's a chore. That's a chore. But what was nice actually about traveling abroad, you're on about the kind of camaraderie, is because I did a few last year. There's like the same girls all the time showing up to all the shows. So if they're in your class, like you'll see the same people in Denmark, and then there'll be the same people in whatever. And you know, like one week you might come second and they might come fourth, and the next week they're second and you're third, or next week one of them gets the pro card and whatever. So it's like, what I enjoyed about it last year is it is like a mini league, because in that federation, you know, they're all trying to get the pro card, and they're all going to every show. So it's all the same people, and it is like quite a healthy sense of competition, because as I say, it's so close. Like a place like top 5 in all of them, but the positions, you know, between the girls. And then one of the girls I've been competing against all year, I think, competed against her in Denmark, and she didn't place. I think she came 6th, then I came 2nd. Then Spain, I think she came 2nd, I came 5th. And then Portugal, she came 2nd, I came 4th. And then she did one more show in Italy and won and got a pro card. And so it's actually like really encouraging.
Yeah.
It's not like in a bad way. You're like, oh, I've been competing with her all year, and she's like made it. And, you know, it's been so close with you all year. So it's actually like a really encouraging thing. So none of you are like, you know, backstage, because you know your time will come eventually, and it's just really encouraging that everyone's kind of so close. So it's cool in that respect. No,
that's really cool.
That's good. That is good.
So also, is it the cost of going overseas to compete compared to the cost of here? Because actually we still have to pay for travel here, we still usually have to pay for hotel, especially if you are quite good amateur. You can expect to be invited to the pro show at the end of the night, right? So you're really not able to get home, especially the fucking, why have they started doing them in Hull? Like,
I might go and plug you in inside. Hold on,
and people are like, are you going to do finals, are you going to come and watch? And I was like, I'm going to Hull. How do you get there?
I don't know, I'm just going to plug you in because my battery's low. We'll go indoors.
So the cost of going overseas in comparison to doing it in England, is it massively more? Is it like not too bad?
No, I mean, as you say, I think the only get the trophy cabinet in, mate.
Put it right in there. There you go.
We'll sit in front.
Is that a snow globe?
What? No, it's got a cactus or something.
Oh,
it's just got like a plant in. There we go. Some little and there's the girls.
The girls. They don't do them anymore.
Do they not?
They do these plaques that say Physical Culture Association. I don't like them. My house is too small to have a big plaque. I need a girl because they're compact.
And when the lockdown happened, they were like my only weights, because they're like 5 kg and 3 kg. Like, flat race.
So funny.
What even was the cost?
The cost of
So really the only difference is the flights. And obviously it's if you want to tag any extra days on the end. So I've used a lot of them as an opportunity to have like a weekend off, a little city break, like 1 or 2 nights after the show. And I think, you know, if you're traveling, like I said, I do need to get there a couple of days before. So you couldn't really fly in Saturday morning and get on stage Saturday night because you won't look great. And I know some people who have flown in like Friday and competed Saturday and pulled it off, but I wouldn't dare, really. I'd at least leave it a couple of days, because like I want a day just to get rid of the water, then I like a day to kind of get my bearings and find a supermarket and make my food and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, the accommodation can be more, obviously. In the UK, I usually stay 2 nights in the UK, so the night before and the night off, because as you say, it's too late and you're tired, and bikini's always on at like 11 p.m. or something.
And I want to go and eat if I do have time. So it's like,
yeah, you don't need to be like in the car. No, I like to just chill out and go back to my room. So yeah, I would say the accommodation's like 2 nights in the UK, but there you might be doing like 4.
Yeah,
but it depends what budget you've got, really. I mean, you can find like cheap hotels, Airbnbs, you know, you can share rooms with people. So it's often, you know, you can find cheaper hotels sometimes in Europe than you can in UK.
Yeah.
Like in Denmark.
I was going to say, it's not cheap. My trains, so if I wanted to compete in like Manchester, for example, it's going to cost me about 100 quid to get there and back, you know. I can fly to Barcelona for £19 return.
You totally can. Yeah, the flights are cheaper than some train tickets. Like to Denmark, I think the flights were like something mad, like 90 quid or something. And then I stayed in a hostel for 3 days in Copenhagen, and I stayed in a hotel, like it was about half an hour away near the venue, and they were like really cheap. So it like, the Denmark trip wasn't expensive at all. I kind of did it. I did that on a whim as well. Like I did the PCA at Body Power, and then I thought, you know what, I'm in all right shape. Where's the show? And I literally just booked it with about 2 weeks' notice. So this is how I did most of my shows last year. And then it's like, oh, Spain soon. That was another 3 weeks after that. Oh, I'll just book it. So
I'm quite like that. I was actually going to go and do Italy after Worlds. But it was 2 weeks later or 4 weeks later, something like that. But I just had enough. So I hadn't entered yet. So I just said to my coach, look, let's just see. Let's see how Worlds go. Like, if I win Worlds, do I really need to compete again? Like, I can just rest. But it was like my first time that I've done a full season as well. I did 3 shows that season. So before, I usually do one and then I don't do finals. I qualify and then I go on holiday. But I think that's like a really important point you make. Like, I can remember like the first couple of years I competed, you have like your heart set on a show. You're like a day, you're like, oh my God, it's 16 weeks, 15 weeks, whatever it is. Whereas now, like, I'm like just so much more flexible. Like, I'll have a target in mind, but what I've learned is just there's always going to be a show. So I just don't stress. Like, you know, I will always be ready, but if I'm not, I'll just do 1 2 weeks later. I'll just fly to Spain instead, or I'll just do something else. Or in the UK, like the PCA have, when we're up and running, the shows every weekend pretty much somewhere. So, you know, some people, I think, you know, everyone likes to get organised and shows do sell out like 100%. But if you don't have to put the pressure on yourself, just like, you know, I entered like the PCA at Body Power like 5 days before, because we only got the invite 8 weeks out.
8 weeks out, and this was like peak off season, and
I had 12 kilos to lose. I was just like, no.
I didn't even want to. I didn't even want to
do it.
And then
Natalie's on, and she also, you know, she did the same, and it was just like,
me and Nat did it.
Yeah,
I mean, it wasn't the best condition I was ever in for a show, but it wasn't
far
like off.
They knew in January, surely, that they were going to invite us because of our placings from the season before. They could have just given us some time, and we would have looked banging.
Well, that's the thing, anyway. But I like a challenge, you see. So I was like, oh, that sounds hard. I'll do it.
I just knew I needed to take the time off for work. I was just like, my boss would have fucking killed me.
And that's not
like me competing. He hates my dieting because I get tired. So I'm quiet, and I'm quite a personality in the office. And then he's just like, there's no one talking.
Yeah.
What you said actually about losing your case, I think is actually a really good tip for anyone, because the worst thing ever happened to Karina. She flew out to Olympia and they lost her suitcase.
Yeah.
And she had everything in her hand like stage, and like literally didn't even have any underwear, any gym kit. You know, she was there I think a week before, so she wanted to train. Nothing. Had to buy it all. BA was so unhelpful, and it was just like, you get there and you've lost your bikini, you're fucked. You know.
Yeah. So I always pack, like, I always pay for luggage. I'm never tight. Always pay for a case, but my hand luggage has always got a pair of shoes. It's always got a bikini. It's got some like makeup essentials. And like my hair straighteners.
Yeah.
And then anything else can go in the main case. But yeah, at least then I know I've got like something, a bikini and shoes at least.
Yeah.
And then my main case is generally just full of food. So
I was going to ask you about the food, because obviously you have to go to the supermarket there, but how much can you take with you?
Oh, everything. Yeah, so because I'm like I don't know, over prepared, I always really pack enough food to last me up until the show, albeit I may not eat it and choose to then buy fresh if I can find it. But I you know, I'm going to Europe, even though in my mind I'm like, what if there's not potatoes or something? But you don't know what the cooking facilities are. So like some of the places I've stayed, like particularly, I was really disappointed because I'd booked to stay in a really like a hostel in Denmark, purely because it had a kitchen and fridge. But it was so busy I couldn't fit anything in the fridge or really cook anything. So I was like, oh, I'm stuck with what's in my case now because I can't refrigerate anything. So I went to the supermarket and brought a bag of like ice and made a makeshift fridge out of like a bag of ice in a carrier bag, and just ate what I'd already taken until I got to the next hotel, which was at the venue, and they had like microwaves and fridges for everyone. So I generally cook up all my food, I freeze it, and then put it in my case like the morning I travel, so it will kind of slowly defrost throughout the day. And I did that when I went to Spain, and I still couldn't eat my potatoes at night. They were still frozen. So I had to like defrost them.
I'd have had the hairdryer out.
I defrosted them in a plastic Ziploc bag in the hot water in the sink. Because then my hotels, again, they have like no microwaves. That one didn't even have a kettle. So I just, they used to bring you up just like a cup of hot water or something like that. I need to make some oats. Thank you.
This is why I choose this certain hotel in Birmingham every time I compete there, because it's got a kitchen so you can cook your own stuff, but it's also got a restaurant like buffet breakfast. So before the show, obviously I just cook my own stuff and I make my oats in the mornings, fine. And then when I get back that next morning, I have the fattest breakfast you could ever imagine, just like a bloody King Henry VIII. Like everything, and then it just smash it. It's amazing.
Hotel buffet's amazing. I just go, I like a hotel with the breakfast. Just go rinse the coffee. Even on the day of the show, I just sit there with my own oats and egg whites, and then bare coffee.
Same. I actually used the hotel gym for posing practice as well the morning of the show, and I'm in my little sparkly bikini, and this man just comes in, you know, tiny little thing, and he's just
you're in there in your bikini. That's amazing.
I don't give a fuck when I'm that close to show. I literally, you know, you've just gone through so much for the 16, 18, 20 weeks, whatever it is, and you become immune to nudity because it's not even your body anymore, is it?
And but you forget the normal society doesn't have this view.
No.
Like, what?
So I'm walking around in a bronzy with like all the fake tan, like, it's disgusting, with my black coffee like a little crackhead. And then I was posing in the gym, and the guy was just trying to do some elliptical, like and then I'm taking selfies in the mirror like show day.
Oh god, I love it when you go to hotel gyms and just watching like how people are training, and you're like, you've come in here and you've like done 20 minutes of nothing, and then you've gone and have your breakfast, and you think you've had anyway, I'll stop belittling normal people, but it is odd when, because I train in like strength asylum, everyone's like hardcore, and then it's like not even like a commercial gym. Then you go to a hotel gym, you're like, what do people do anymore? What's this equipment? What's like
Some of the shit you find in hotel gyms, it blows my mind.
I like it as a challenge though. Like, I love going to, well, I wouldn't say I love it, but I like it when you go into a gym, you go, this is the shittest hotel gym I've ever been. It's got zero equipment. What can I do in here? And we've got like one dumbbell or something.
That's why you were good at home workouts.
Yeah, because I enjoy it. Yeah, there was some really shit ones I went last year, and like I went on a hen do in Portugal. He's trained there every day. I had nothing but like one treadmill and about 3 dumbbells, and I was like, I've done the best like glute session today. So yeah, it's the same. You just have to have a bit of imagination. I can train with nothing. I can train with pretty much nothing.
Yeah. So see, I just wouldn't bother training. That's how lazy I am. I also wanted to talk about some tips for first timers. So I mean, putting everything in your hand luggage is one of the biggest tips. That food one was also very helpful. But what are your like die-hard tips for show day? Because for me, what do I think as must-haves? I always take a sewing kit, which was really important because my bikini, the connector was kind of off center for finals, so my boyfriend had to sew the bikini connector like so it would be even.
I've had a snap before.
And then I always take tit tape as well, and I tape my bikini on. Yeah, no matter what. I mean, my bikinis are like from Sparkle, they fit like a glove, but still I don't want any slippage in the back pose. And I wear a pro cut as well, so it's just tiny.
So I have taped my butt before.
I get 2 people to help me tape my boobs in because they're fake, so they can go lopsided and you can't even notice. Because it's in my check-in, I would always be like, my boob looks fine.
They don't mould.
Yeah, so I get 2 people, like one is there and then one literally will just stick it on and then tie it up for me at the back so it's right in the middle. And then I tape my bikini bottoms on when I've had enough to drink, you know, like I'm not going to go to the toilet again. So that's obviously quite close. I also made a mistake at finals and I put my shoes on quite early backstage.
Oh no.
So by the time I was on stage, my ankles were killing me. I was wobbling in every side pose.
I still pump up in sliders. I literally am still pumping up in my sliders, and then I don't put my heels on literally until it's go time.
Until it's glaze time for me, because I don't wear straps.
Just like the latest I possibly can, because I'm still trying to pump up, and I will still try and like pump up glutes or whatever with my band a little bit. So I have it around my ankles and I'm doing like the kickbacks. You can't do that on heels. Come on,
I did. Yeah, I did for final.
You can do a little bit, but it's like so precarious trying to get your leg in and out of this band, and I don't want to break my nose. So I just leave it the very last minute. And some tips I would say, things like that. Just don't put your bikini on until it's the last minute. You know, taking it on and off. The things are so tight and small. You're like ruining your tan. You get all marks around your hips. I take like an old string bikini, so I can just put that on for check-ins and tie it like really loose on the pants and bra. Yeah. And then, it doesn't mark you because it's just like tied on loose. So I'm not putting my bikini on till the end. Shoes, don't put on till the end. Basically just lie down. Don't get walking around prancing all day. I just like to go and watch the show as well.
I do as well. It gives me kind of inspiration for my own posing persona that I have to adopt before I go on stage.
And bikini's always on last, but I think it really does help if you watch like the layout of the stage.
And the short girls and What time do you usually go on? Say for a PCA show. What's your height class?
Short.
See, I'm the last bikini class on usually. It's like masters and trained, so I get to watch almost the whole show before I can have to go backstage, which is really useful for me.
You can just see how it's run. You can see where people are stood, how long things are taking, what's going on. But I think if people are wanting to do a show for the first time, like I would 100% say, go and watch a show. It amazes me the amount of people that speak to me and have never been to a show and don't really know what they're getting themselves involved in, and they've seen a few pictures. But because I've got a Facebook group called Bikini from the Beginning, and it's for like all bikini competitors, but there's a lot of first timers in there. So it's just like it's about 150 people now. So it's just like a community of people to like, you know, you learn so much knowledge. You can just share things. So I've got like a show day checklist and stuff in there they can download, and you know, we had like weekly calls on a different topic every week, and had some pros on, or one week was about tanning and one week was about whatever. But so many of the new people, it's like, go and watch a show. Because, and also like there's so many different federations as well. Like at the moment, PCA is obviously massive and the biggest one in the UK, but I personally started off doing like the Pure Elites and Miami Pros.
That's exactly what I say to first timers. Don't go to a PCA show unless you have got a really decent muscle mass already. And most first timers don't. Go and do a fun show where you can like enjoy it and look pretty, and not this serious bodybuilding federation.
And at least there are like first timers shows now, which they didn't have when I started. So you just had to get thrown in there with like whatever. And you know, my first show I had like no legs, no glutes. I was too lean for the federation I was doing. So I think that's why I gravitated towards bodybuilding, because I could get lean. But then it took me about 3 years to build the muscle to pull it off.
But I think that's another key thing. I said it about masters yesterday. Just because you're a masters doesn't mean you have to compete in the masters class, as you well know.
I don't.
You don't do the masters at all, right?
I'm still pretending. No, I've never competed in a masters.
I would see, if I was going to do IFBB, I'd just do both classes.
Yeah. The thing is as well, why I haven't done it with the IFBB is obviously the open class is the only one you can get your pro card. And the masters class, they have it in the US, and I think the more popular it becomes here, we'll like petition for it, you know, like wellness was, you know, the more popular it got, it became a pro qualifying class. So I've no doubt masters will be a pro qualifying class in its own right, like really, really soon. But as well, like you were saying, kind of the expense of competing and stuff, you have to pay to enter every class. And if I'm still being competitive and placing like top 5 in the open class, like, you know, and last year I did 7 shows. I did 6 IFBB shows. Like, you know, the cost of doing like, that's like the cost of doing double the amount of shows. Whereas really I'm going there to see if I can, you know, win my class and get on stage for the overall to compete in for the pro card. So it didn't, you know,
didn't make sense.
No.
But I think that's true of like first timers feel like they have to do the first timers class, and it's like you absolutely don't.
You don't. I mean, I know some first timers who look like sick, and you think you win your open class, but then there's other girls who like, you know, would just benefit from doing a first timers. And I think, I don't know, there's 2 pools of people I speak to when they're considering their first show. There's some who kind of are just like waiting to be perfect until they dare do it. And you're like, just get on stage now because you're really good. And you're like, no, I'll just grow for a bit more, or just do this or do that. And like, sometimes you just need to throw yourself into it to really gauge where you're at. And some people don't know how good they are because they, you know, they watch the shows with like us or whatever in it. And we've been doing it for like 4 years, and I don't look now how I looked during my first show. It's like a different body has been grown. It's like 4 years worth of like training, and I am like so consistent. Like my off seasons are so consistent. Like
I feel personally attacked by that statement.
No, but you know what I mean? Like I've had 4 years like hard work.
I am not so consistent. But no, I know what you mean. It is bodybuilding, right? If you it's the same as when you're a first timer,
no. But then some people like are really, really good, and you're like, just
my God,
give it
some
a go.
of them and some of the juniors just blow my mind.
Oh my God, this makes me sick, because I think if I'd started bodybuilding when I was like 23, whereas I didn't even start training properly till I was over 30. So
if I looked that hot when I was that young, I'd be a complete hoe. Like I wouldn't have had any long-term relationships in my 20s. Like this is so fit, these girls.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, it's amazing. Honestly, the juniors are amazing. I think they've got such like a good future ahead of them. They just need to take care of themselves and like appreciate that. they're in it for the long haul, and that they don't have to do every show, and they can take a year out. And you know, like sometimes I feel like my time's running out, so I'm like, oh, I've got to compete this year. I might not have another year left in me. And I think that
I'm exactly the same. I literally don't want to be competing. So I'm 38 now. I don't want to be competing the year I'm 40 because I want to fucking celebrate that I've survived for 40 years.
I know, like every year is better. Year I've been on prep for my birthday. Like,
fuck that. Not for a big birthday like 40. And every year is better, and I enjoy myself more and more. So it's like, in another 2 years, it's going to be amazing. I'm going to be so drunk. I don't want to have abs for my birthday. I mean, hopefully I will.
Yeah,
but
of course.
I won't. So yeah.
Not the day after.
And I only compete every other year because I can't make it fit around my lifestyle if I do it every year. Yeah. Also, I'm still need to develop my physique. So I do need to take the time off to grow my legs. So this year was meant to be Worlds. I was hoping to win it. And then I could take the next couple of years off and just compete in my 40s if I wanted to. Because I would have achieved my goals. Because I don't want a pro card. Like, I know it sounds stupid, but IFBB pro cards, you have to pay for the year, every year, and then you've got to compete, and I'd be competing against like Phoebe and stuff. Like,
yeah, well, that's sick, isn't it? That's like,
I see, because I've got a full-time corporate job. I cannot compete at that level and still run my company. Like,
yeah, I work a long hours as well, but
yeah. What do you do actually?
I do. Pardon?
What do you do?
I'm a corporate tax advisor.
Okay.
So I lead a double life by day.
That's the thing. Like, I get to this time of year and I've got to write the forecast and the budget for the year for my company, and I'm just like watching the matrix come down the spreadsheet if I'm dieting, and I'm like,
I know.
Whereas now it just take me half an hour. I would not take me half an hour, but do you know what I mean?
Last year was hard because I did kind of push my limits, because as you say before, I've done like a couple of shows and then come out, whereas last year I competed from May till October pretty much. Like I did shows pretty much every 3 weeks, and then I had 7 weeks over like August to September. That was like the longest I had off all year. So I was like stage lean for like 6 months. So that was like, so I was dieting for like 8 months really. So that was like a long time. So I didn't really want to compete at all this year until October, November. But it looks like I'm going to do August now. But they have all these rules, like you've got to do a regional before you can go elsewhere, and so that's
my problem for IFBB now. I have to do a regional, but it's 10 minutes from my house. In the Lee Valley ones, I literally live around the corner.
And they are good. They're good. They're still like a good standard, and it's good to like get used to the format of the show, because it is very, very different from PCA. And the atmosphere
I don't enjoy the posing for Two Bros. Like,
I saw you were learning it with Phoebe, so you decided not to do that.
And she was literally like, do not flex a single muscle, because I'm like, and then she's like, you're flexing your delts, and I'm not. Just there.
I always flex my lats though. It's all about the lats this year in bikini. See, the lats will be big. Like, have you seen like Issa and people who've won? They've got like proper taper. She's got awesome lats, so it's becoming a little bit more flexed, I would say. It depends what you're working with. Like, I haven't got a lot to work with.
My back is my strength, and then IFBB keep the hair down, and I'm like, I just want to be like, look at this bad boy, like I can in PCA.
It is like the back pose, like I can't flex at all because I'm like, your hamstrings are too prominent. Like, I know everyone wants the tie, but no, there's too much. No, you just need to basically stand there. Don't bend over,
like
don't
you've been hit by a truck. You know, like after British Finals 2018, the next day, I honestly felt like I got hit by a truck. Because we were on stage for so long, weren't we? And it was so like competitive.
45, my quads, I couldn't do, the pain.
I've got that one calf, which is the calf that I go on my toe for.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it felt like it had been stabbed millions of times. It was so sore. The other calf was fine.
I know, it was my right quad was just flexed. It was like,
honestly, my back was in spasm for days. I was just like, I did the mistake, you know, when you flex your back and your whole erector spine, I flex it.
Yeah.
And I was literally like, oh no.
Spasmed.
But, also a big tip that I would always say to anyone that's competing, because I've made this mistake so many times, is only look at the judges when you walk on stage and you smile at them, you connect with them, and then just look at the photographer the whole time. So you've got pictures of your eyes and not little squinty looking down, which is what I always do, because I always look at the judges.
Yeah.
And I don't have any pictures of my eyes.
I think there's a lot to be said for looking at the judges as well. But not in like a stare them out way, but like the PCA British final, because it was so big and they're all spread out and there's like 10 judges, like the stage is massive. And I sometimes find it really useful because if you look at the judges, you can see like if they're looking at you or not. And sometimes
I only look in the diagonal. So I will walk out and I look at every single one of them in their eye, because that's when they're looking at you.
Yeah.
Right? And then Mags was a judge at the time, and she was like, just it makes us uncomfortable if you look at us while you're on stage, like we're trying to judge you, and then you're just like, so I kind of skim, you know, like when you see someone in the crowd that you don't want to
say just like look at the top of the head, like don't stare them out,
and remember there's a photographer. Because I never remember.
But what you do need is like a little bit of sixth sense, because sometimes I've found that you can see a couple of judges like chatting and pointing at you or pointing at the girl next to you. And like, I'm sure it was like Mags or someone in the British finals. I knew she couldn't see my number because I could see what she was like, you know, and so I just changed my pose and then she could see my number and she's like, oh, that, you know, like I kind of sensed that she was looking to kind of judge me. Whereas if you've got like no awareness and you're waving at your mum or whatever, and the judge actually is trying to judge you or mark you and can't see your number and you're just like, la, 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 you know, it is kind of more interactive than people might think. Like you can see, or if they're, you know, if you know some of them are stood there like debating chat to you, well, that's not the time to like give your flex leg a rest and go into like your second best pose, is it? That's the time to like just suck it up and go, no, this is my best one. You know, because you're up there so long, you do need to change poses, and you know you do have preferences, but once you'll like be in for a fleeting second when you think like nobody's looking at me, or actually this person's like looking at my shoulders here, what makes them look good? So you need a bit of awareness of what's going on, I think.
I'm just watching this Amazon driver, right? I'm sitting in front of my window and he's just dropped my Monster off, and then no one's answered the door, so he's like waiting around. Just take a picture, mate, and go.
He's gonna drink it.
Like, gonna drink it. Do not take my Monster.
Yeah,
he's left it on the doorstep. We've only got 3 minutes left. I told you it flies by. Do you have any final tips or pearls of wisdom you'd like to put you on the spot right now? Anything that we haven't discussed?
I would just say if somebody's wanting to compete, one, go and see a show. Two, can you actually stick to a structured diet and training plan for like, have you ever stuck to it? Can you do
a photo shoot first, right?
Like I was with a coach from like about February till July before I even started prepping, so I knew I could stick to a plan for like 5 months or something. And I think people are using a prep as like the first time they've ever even dieted, or not even dieted, but they can't even stick to a maintenance plan. They can't even stick to a mass gaining plan, like a surplus for longer than a week, because of the like restriction of choices and the discipline. And you think, well, you're going from completely haphazard food to like a prep. Like you need to get like a consistent like level of like training, of eating, of like getting all that stuff just like easy, so that when you prep, like people go, oh my god, you started prepping today. It's like, it's the same as yesterday, pal.
Lifestyle.
I do exactly the same. I've just got 200 calories less. I haven't noticed. It's no hardship. Whereas some people are like, prep is today, my life has changed. It hasn't changed. So I think unless you can like be confident, you can stick to the lifestyle when you're not in a deficit, because when you are in a deficit, that's even harder. If you can't stick to somebody telling you to eat more to put on weight, then like what? So that's my tip. Just like use this time whilst there's no shows to kind of build that bit of routine and
practice your posing now, right? Like
I hate practicing posing.
I don't practice my posing.
I hate it.
But
I hate it.
Right, we've got 40 seconds, so I'm going to say thank you so much.
No worries.
I'm going to put it on my IGTV and on my YouTube. I'll tag you in a little post. And thank you everyone for watching.
Do we do a screenshot?
Go on then.
Wicked.
Bye guys.
Thank you, bye.